Hello, all of you. In this class, we will discuss about searching and sorting elements in an array. That means searching means finding an element in an array, and sorting means how to arrange in ascending or descending orders. So, first of all, before moving to searching and sorting, here we are just discussing about the arrays and methods. All of you know how to write the method and how to define the methods, and how will you call the method statement also. So, using the array, how we will write the methods, that is the point here. So first dimensional, or that is one dimensional or two dimensional array, can be used as argument or parameter of a function, that is known as formal arguments. So arguments that are passing in a method definition is known as formal arguments. All of you know that case. What do you mean by formal argument and actual argument? Arguments that are passing in formal method definition is known as formal argument, and arguments which is passing in the method calling statement is known as actual argument. So here how the arrays are passing is formal arguments. So let's see the example. One dimension array, public void display of. So that is the method name display, and we are passing an array name as the formal argument. So how will you pass an array argument in a formal argument? Data type is required here. Array name, then that square bracket indicates that is an array variable. So you should mention array variable name as formal argument like this. Array name square bracket is indicating that is an array. If it is a single parameter, means how will you pass that parameter as a formal argument? Yes, here the same, public void display of int n. Consider n is the parameter we need to pass as an integer variable. Then we will pass like this. This is a single variable, how we will pass as a formal argument. Here an example for this array, single dimension array, how will you pass as a formal argument? Here if it is an array, means we have to specify with that array is symbol, that is a square bracket. So let's move to the second two-dimensional array, that is public void display, same method, and we are passing two-dimensional array as a formal argument. Then int mat, that is indicating matrix. Here I have given the array name as mat. Two square bracket is indicating that is a two-dimensional array indicating rows and columns. So instead of that values, we don't want to specify any row size or column size. In the first case, that is in the first dimension array, one dimension array, we don't want to specify any max size of that particular array. We are just passing that array variable with the square bracket, that is indicating that is an array value. And the same in the two dimensional array also, you have to do like this. Have to pass that array variable name with two square brackets indicating that is a two-dimensional array. So this is the method. How will you pass that? Argument is the formal argument, that is array argument or array value is the formal argument. Let's say how to call in that method calling statement. You know that arguments is passing in the method calling statement means that is actual arguments. So actual argument we are calling in the methods call statement, similar to the single variable also. So display, just to call the method name with that array name. No need to indicate the size or the square bracket, nothing. We don't require that all. We need to call only the array name with that method. Same as single variable or single parameter, how we will pass in the method calling statement. The same way we are doing for the array. If it is single dimensional, one dimensional, that is one dimensional or two dimensional. Okay. So this is a concept to call or use that array values as formal argument or actual argument in the case of methods. Okay. Here we have a program. Write a function int print sum of int a, that is an array parameter we are passing as a formal. To find and return the sum of only even numbers from the array passed as an argument. Write a main method to initialize a single dimensional array 5 integers, and by calling function print sum, display sum of that even numbers. So first of all, what we have to write, we have to write that program. Let's see here. Class name I have given as array, and in the question they have given int print sum of a particular array variable that we have given inside this method definition. The question is, we have to find the sum of that even numbers. So sum equal to 0 has given a loop variable j, finding the length a dot length array. How will you find the length of an array? Using that array name dot length. Then inside the for loop we have given that constant a of j modulus 2. This is a of j. If j modulus 2 w equal to 0, then we have to find the sum of that particular even number sum equal to sum plus a of j. Return sum, that is an integer return type, that's why we have to return a sum. Then in the main method, what is our concept? Main method, we have initialize the array values and calling that array variable, calling the method name print sum of that particular number. And we are finding the sum of the event. So you can notice here in this method definition we have passed this formal arguments as array variable, how we have passed, and in the method calling statement how we have called that particular array and after initialize the value. Clear? This is the way of passing arrays as formal argument and actual argument. Okay, next one is searching in one-dimensional array. The process of finding an element from an array is known as searching. There are two methods we are using. First one is the linear search, second one is the binary search. So linear search is otherwise known as sequential search. By the term it is indicating linear search, the searching technique in which each element of an array is compared with the search item one by one until the search item is found or all elements have been compared. It traverses the array sequentially to locate the given item. It can work for both sorted and unsorted array. So if it is a sorted array also it will work, unsorted array also it will work. So linear search means we are searching an element in an array. How we are searching the element? Searching an element of an array is compared with the search item one by one until the search item is found. So let's see a program how it differs. So search an element in an array using linear search. Pass the element to be searched for as an argument. We are passing as an argument. Which element we need to search? That element we are passing as an argument. Inside the method we have done this concept void searching of, and here we have declared initialized an array of values 5, 9, 2, 24 and 51. What we have to do? 5, 9, 2, 24 and 51. These are the array elements. I need to search. Just to consider n is equal to 24. N equal to 24. We need to search is the 24 is available in this initialized array. So how it has to be? Array means index position start from 0. So you know that array index position everything. 5 elements means 0 to 4. So first of all we need to check this 24 is equal to the first element, is it? Yes, we need to check that n is equal to a of 5. What is a of 5? A of 5 is indicating that is the first element. So we will write the for loop for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Then the given value, n is the key. We can tell this is a key for the search item, or this is a value for the search item, or this is the value we are searching in the array. So n is equal to a of 5. In the first position, if any value is equal to that particular value, then we need to find. We are just updating the value found equal to 1. Found, we are giving a variable as found. Yeah, we found it. We got the value like that, found equal to 1. Before that, we have to initialize found equal to 0. If a value is matching with the given value, then found equal to 1 and should break that particular loop, particular for loop, and the condition if found is equal to 1, here it is not flag, it is found. If found is equal to 1 means what is the value? The value is found in that particular array, else it is not found in the array. Is it? Yes. So how the dry run will be? Yeah, let's see. N equal to a of 5. So first I equal to 0. A of 5 means what is the value of a of 5? 5. So 24 w equal to 5? No. The condition false. Again I is increasing, I equal to 1. N of a of 5 means 24 equal to 9. No, it is not equal to 9. Then I equal to 2. Yes. 24 not equal to 2. Yes. Then I equal to 3. I equal to 3 means 24 is the value. 24 double equal to 24. Is it? Yes. 24 is equal to 24. So what it has to do? The condition is true. The condition is true and the variable will update as found equal to 1 and immediately exit from this loop by the break statement. And the condition we have given if found equal to 1 means the value has found in the particular array, else it is not found in the array. So this is a concept for linear search. Just to initialize any array, otherwise you can read from the main method or any other value you can read using the scatter class. Then this is a concept. We are writing the for loop. Inside the for loop, we are just assigning that value. Given value is equal to any one of the value in that particular array. Then it is found is equal to found or any variable you can assign. Here I have given is found equal to 1. Before that you should assign found equal to 0. Whenever the value match with the given value, the found variable is updating as 1 and immediately exit from that particular loop by using the break statement. At the last, we will give the message found equal to 1 means we are just displaying a message and the value what we searched is found in that particular array. This concept is known as linear search. So what do you understand? Linear search means the element of an array is compared with the search item one by one until the search item is found. Here how we have searched? Yes, the element with this is the element we need to search. That element is searching one by one until the element has to be found. Otherwise, until that array has to be until the elements of the all elements have been compared. So this can be work for both sorted and unsorted array. Okay, this concept is known as linear search. Okay, if you want to display the particular position of the searched element, then what we have to do? Example here, 34 is the value we have given for search. For that we have to assign a variable position and we can write here position. If the condition is true means we can write position is equal to I, the particular array index equal to I. Is it? Yes. Then you can display that value is found in the array position, the position or in this position, the position. Here you can give some values also. What value we have to give the variable position. Okay, then it will display according to that. Here also you can give it is not found in the array. Okay, that is not found in the array. So if you want to display that particular element, search element or search item has found in particular position, that position if you want to display means we can give inside this condition if the value is equal to a of I, after that found equal to 1, the status variable is updating as 1 and position should be equivalent to that particular index, is it? So I then break. Okay, this is the concept. So in linear search, compare all the elements one by one with the searching element, is it? And then run a loop from the beginning to the end of the array and compare the searching element with the current element. If a match is found, then the element is present or and terminate the loop. If there is no match, that if the no match is found till the end of the loop, then the element is not present. These are the steps included in the linear search. Then next we are moving for this binary search, and this is very important concept. This process works on pre-sorted arrays. Only on pre-sorted arrays. In the case of linear search, it will work either on sorted or unsorted array. But in the case of binary search, it will work on pre-sorted arrays only. That means before searching, array should be in a sorted order. Then only this binary search will work properly. Binary search used to search an element from the array in minimum number of comparison and works on pre-sorted arrays only. Works by dividing the array into 2 with each failed search comparison. So the steps included in binary search, the first we assume lower limit. Just to consider, lower limit is indicating by L. Lower limit is considering by L and upper limit or higher limit is indicating by U. So we are dividing that particular array into 2 sections. We have to, this is the work. It works by having the arrays with each failed comparison. So first it will divide into 2. For that we need to first find what is L and U. L is the lower limit, U is the upper limit. Then we need to find the position, middle position M. How will you find the middle position? Using the formula M equal to lower plus upper divided by 2. By using this formula we can find the middle position of that particular array. Then compare the search element with the element at the position M, that is the middle position. If a match is found, then the process terminates. If a match is not found, then used on these steps, it will check or the searching will continue. If the search element is larger than the element in the middle position, if the element is larger than the middle position, then the lower index will be updated to M plus 1, and if it is smaller than the element in middle position, then upper limit, this is U is indicating upper limit U, upper limit equal to M minus 1, upper limit middle value minus 1, middle index minus 1. So using these two formulas, it will continue searching till the element is found. Okay, these are the steps included in the binary search. So let's see a program for this binary search. Search an element in an array using binary search. Pass the element to be searched as an argument. We are passing that particular element. Which element we need to search? That element we are passing as an argument. So in the class name has given, and another in the method be search of int n. N is the value we are giving. Okay, just to consider, I have initialized the array, single dimension array here. Initialize the single dimension array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 elements are there. So I need to search an element of 30, 40. We need to search an element of 40. Searching means finding an element. The finding an element in an array is not a searching. So how it will start? This using the binary search concept. So first of all, we need to write the arrays 5, 10. Okay, by this way, here 5, the elements are 5, 10, 15, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 and 50. Yes, these are the elements we initialized in this array, and we know this index position of everything is set. Yes, index position start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total elements 10. Length of the array 10. So as per this, we know what is L and what is U. U is length minus 1. U is upper limit is length minus 1. The array name dot length minus 1. Otherwise, we can write U is equal to 9. Then we are giving a condition. It should be lower limit less than or equal to upper limit. Then we will start the condition. What is the condition? First of all, we need to find the middle value. How will you find lower plus upper divided by 2? So here, search element is 40. Then what is the middle element of this array? Middle element L plus U, that is 0 plus 9 divided by 2. 9 by 2. 9 by 2 equal to 4. 4. So what is the middle element? 25 is the middle element, is it? Yes, 25 is the middle element. So it will check that condition. What is the condition? First we need to check if that search element is indicating by n. So 40 is the value we have given there. 40 greater than a of m. Is it greater than a of m? No. If it is greater than a of m, we have to update the lower limit equal to m plus 1. Else 40 less than a of 20. 40 less than 25. If the condition satisfies, means we have to update upper limit equal to m minus 1. The first one, the given element or searching element is 40 and first middle value is equal to 25. So it satisfies which condition? 40 is greater than 25. Is it 40 is greater than 25? That is the first condition. So L is updating as m minus m plus 1. L is updating as m plus 1. M plus 1 means what is the value of m? M is 4. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Now the lower limit is updated as 5. So in the next iteration, what it will do? It will check the value from 5 to last value. That is from the 5th position to the last position, it will search. So what is the that's why limit is updated as 5. So how we will write the middle value again? Yes, how to check the condition? L less than or equal to u? Yes, L is equal to 5 less than or equal to 9. Yes, the condition is true. So again it will consider the middle value. We need to find the middle value of this one from 5th position to the 9th position. In this, which one is the middle value? So m equal to L plus u. L is 5 plus u 9. 5 plus 9 equal to 14 by 2 divided by 2. Total value we are getting as m equal to 7. So m equal to 7 we are getting. Then again you have to check the value of n. Searching element is 40. 40 greater than m of 7. M of 7 means in the 7th position. What value is there? Yes, it is equal to the same value. Is it 40 is 7? Here 7. 7th position the value is 40. Which one we are searching? So it will check here 40 greater than 40. The true or false? 40 is greater than 40. It is true or false? False, is it? Else if it will come to 40 less than 40. This condition is also false. So it will come to that else part. Come out of this while loop. The found is equal to 1. The element is equal to here. Yeah, one more thing, a small change is there. Element found is equal to 1, is it? If the value found means we have to update found equal to 1, then break found equal to 1 means the element present at the position of particular index. How we will write? Index is m is indicating m plus 1, or at the particular position how we will write m, or in that m the position. So this is the concept of binary search. It will divide that array into 2 pieces by finding the middle value. Then it will update the condition. If the search element is larger than element in middle position, then L is equal to lower limit is updating as m plus 1, otherwise upper limit is updating as m minus 1. So this is the process of binary search. So there are 2 searches in our syllabus, like linear search and binary search. Next we are moving to the sorting technique. Sorting means the method of arranging elements of an array in ascending order or descending order is known as sorting. Either in ascending or descending order we are sorting the elements. That concept is known as sorting technique. Different sorting techniques are there: selection sort, bubble sort, insertion sort, merge sort, quick sort, shell sort. Like this, different sorting techniques are there. As per the syllabus, we need to learn 3 types of sorting technique. That is, first one is bubble sort, then selection sort and insertion sort. These are the 3 types of sorting we need to learn. So what do you mean by bubble sort? The adjoining values are compared and exchanged if they are not in proper order. This process is repeated until the entire array is sorted. So in this method, 2 adjacent elements are compared each time. And if they are not at the proper places, means each time that 2 adjacent elements are compared. And this process goes for all the elements of the array, and finally the array will be in sorted form. That concept is known as bubble sort technique. So let's consider an example. An array with elements in an unsorted form. So we have to be arranged in ascending order. So let's see how to do. So here, example 11, 6, 4, 23 and 2. This is an array. Consider this is an array of elements. How many elements? 5 elements. So positions always start from 0 to, yes, index is 0 to 4. That you know. Yes, what is the length of this array? Array length is 5. So in this array, first it will compare the index of 0 and 1. That is the two adjoining values means these are the two adjoining values. So 0 and 1 it will come back. And based on, consider this is based on ascending order, we need to arrange it. So how it will be? Ascending order means smallest element will be the first one, is it? Yeah. By comparing these two index, that is comparing these two adjoining values, 6 is the smallest one, 11 will move to this one. Then the remaining will be there itself. There is no change on the remaining position. And in the next step, again two values. What are the two values? These two adjacent values will change. So in this, which one is the smallest one? 6, 4, 11, 23, 2. The next one, next two elements, that is 11 and 23. This 11 and 23, which one is the smallest one? 11 is the smallest one, so there is no exchanging the value there itself. It will be like that. So 11, 23, 2. Then what is the next next index? That is 23 and 2. So 23 and 2 means 2 will be the smaller one. So we know 2 and 23 is the value. Okay. So at the last, that means 23 greater than 2. So here first pass gets over. Now start the same process as above except index. The first biggest value we got it. That will be there. This the first pass is over. Then the remaining, we need to sort the remaining values. Yes. So this is the concept of bubble sort. That means adjoining values, comparing the adjoining values and exchange if they are not in the proper order, and the process is repeated until the entire array is sorted. So this is the concept. We will see that an example in the proper order. So the following array is in unsorted array, and we need to arrange it in ascending order. So this is the first form. In this, in the step 1, or we can tell these are the passes of. Okay, in the step 1, these two are comparing, so we will get the value 6, 11. So just giving the index here, 2, 3 and 4. 11, 4, 23, 2. There is no change on that value. The next one, in the second step, the array is after swapping the elements of 1 and 2 index. First it is comparing the value of 0th position and the first position, and if it is smaller means smaller value will move to the first position. That the concept is known as swapping. Swapping the elements of first and second index. Now compare. Now next, what is the next comparison? 1 and 2, 11 and 4. So 11 and 4 if we are comparing, we will get 6, 4, swapping the value. 11 and 4 when we are comparing, we will get 4 and 11 by swapping concept. Is it? Yes, 23 and 2. The next one in the third pass, 6, 4 and 11 and 23. Is there any change? No changes there. So the value will be like that. No changes are there. So we can write. Next it will move to the 11, 23, 2. It will consider the next index, that is 23 and 2. So in the fourth step, 6, 4, 11, 2, 23. So 23 greater than 2. 23 is greater than 2. So here the first pass over. Pass means these entire elements are over in this comparison. Okay, first pass gets over. So next what we have to do, next how it will start. Now start the same process as above except index of 4. We don't want to consider this index and the value, because elements from indexes 0 to 3 are still unarranged. Is it 0 to 3 are unarranged? So we need to consider this the next part. So in the next step, so this is the first pass number 1. This pass 1 we have 4 steps. Then in the next pass, that is the pass 2, in the pass 2, first value how it will be the first one? 6, 4, 11, 2, 23 already done, so it will be remain at the last index safely. We need to compare from 0 to 3 because 0 to 3 elements are unarranged. It is not in the proper order. So here in the first pass and the first step we are comparing 6 and 4. In this, which one is smaller? According to that, it will swap the values 4, 6, 11 and 2. In the second step. In the second step, it will compare 6 and 11. So again swapping the value, 6 is no changes here, 6 and 11, and so it will be there. Then next one is 11 and 12. So which one is the smaller one? 2 is the smaller. So in the fourth step we will get the value 4, 6, 2, 11. So you know, and remaining in this the second pass we got the fourth element. These two are arranged. This is 11 and 23 are arranged in the format, and we need to find or arrange these three values. Is it? Again, the pass will continue till all the elements are arranging in proper form. So pass 3. This pass 3, first step 4, 6, 2, 11 to 23. It already are in the order. That's why no problem. 4, 6, 2 we need to check. In this first 2, 4 and 6. Yes, swap the value. No need to swap the values. Yes, 4 is the smallest one. Then in the next step, 6 and 2 will swap. So we will get the values as 4, 2, 6 and 11, 23 will be same. It already order. It is in the order, proper order. That's why there is no change. Now pass 3 having 3 steps. Is it? 4, 2, 6. Again, 6 is in the last value. So finally we got 6, 11, 23. This is the last step in the pass 3. The next pass is pass 4. Is it? Pass 4 will continue like this. In this pass 4, first step 4, 2, 6, 11, 23. So first two index it will check. In the pass 4, first iteration will be 4, 2, 6, 11, 23. So 4 and 2 we need to check. So we will get 2, 4, 6, 11, 23. So finally we got all the values in the proper order, that is the ascending order. We got it in the second step. Is it? Yes, the second step of the pass 4. 2, 4, 6, 11, 23. So first it will compare the elements of the first and second index, or based on the adjacent index it will compare the value. Then it will swap as per the condition. If it is descending order or ascending order, as that it will swap the condition. Now in the last pass 4 and in the step 2, there is now we can see that there is no element left for comparison. Only 2 is here. Here in this case only 2 is there. No need to compare that values also. So the final value 2 will automatically be combined with other indexes, and then sorted array in ascending order appears as 2, 4, 6, 11 and 23. So this is final sorted using bubble sort method. One point in this bubble sort, after every pass the greatest element from the array comes at the end in the same array. That you know. In the first pass we got it first pass, and end of the first pass we got the higher value. What is the higher value? 23. In the next pass we got the next higher value, that is 11. Is it? Like that. So so what we can tell, after every pass the greatest element from the array comes at the end in the same array. So if the array is to be arranged in the ascending order. In the descending order means in the opposite way it will be. Okay, this is the program for sorting, that is especially bubble sort. Here inside the main method I have initialized some array values and called the defined method using that array as argument. So in that method, public void bubble sort of int a of, that is an formal argument is an array. Inside this we have given the concept like 5 elements, means in the main method I have initialized 5 elements. So here I equal to 0, according to that length you have to give I less than 5. Then I equal to j equal to 0 inside the next loop. nested loop j equal to 0, j less than 5 minus I minus 1 j plus condition if a of j greater than a of j plus 1, temp equal to a of j equal to a of j plus 1, then that is equal to 10. This is known as exchanging the values. That is known as swapping the value. Exchanging is known as swapping values, is it? So this is the concept for swapping the value. If the condition is true, it is greater than that value, means next index means we have to swap the value. Then finally you can print that particular array after the sorted one. So let's see how the values will be. Here a dry run. 11, 60 is 6, 4 and 23, 2. 5 elements are there. So array index start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here let's see why we have given j less than 5 minus I minus 1 condition. Starting value I equal to 0, j equal to 0. Both are zeros. First it will check the condition a of j greater than a of j plus 1. J is 0. 0 greater than 11 greater than 6. Yes, the condition is true. That's why temp has to be. Temp is updating as a of j. A of j means the values. What is the value of a of j? Is 11. Then a of j equal to, that is a of j means jth position is 0. 0 equal to j plus 1. J plus 1 means first index. First index belongs to 6. Then a of 1 is equal to 11. So now the updated value, how it will display? 6, 11, 4, 23, 2. Is it? So next one, j is increasing as 1. The condition j less than 5 minus 1. Yes, the condition is true. So it will, here it will consider j equal to 1. The condition we have to check a of j, that is a of 1 is greater than a of 1, that is 11 is greater than 4. Have to check here 11 greater than 4. Yes, the condition is true. So temp is updating as 11 and a of j, that is a of 1 is updating as a of j plus 1. What is the value of a of j plus 1? 4. A of 2 is updating as temp. Temp is indicating as 11. Temp is updated as 11. So what is the value of, or how we can write this after this step? We can write 6, 11 and 4 we updated and we got 4, 11, 23 and 2. Is it? This is step 1, step 2, step 3 in the single pass. The next j is again updating, j equal to 2. 2 means the condition, what is here the position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 means 11. 11 greater than 23. No, the condition is false. So no need to exchange the values. It will go to next j loop, increase the j loop, j equal to 3. Yes, j equal to 3. Then what is the condition? A of 3. A of 3, this is 2, this is a of 3 greater than a of 4. Yes, a of 3 is greater than a of 4. So we have to write 23 greater than 2. Sorry, not 4, 2. Temp is updating as 23. A of 3 is updating as 2 and a of 4 is updating as 23. A of 4 is updating as 23. So finally, the last step of the first is pass. 6, 4, 20, 11. Yes, this is 11. 11, 2, 23. Clear? So finally we got, after each pass, all the elements are over in this particular array. That's why we are giving us j equal to 5 minus I minus 1 till j minus. Next j is equal to 4. J is increasing as 4. 4 less than 4. The condition is false, so it won't execute that particular value. It will come out of the loop. So here, that is the reason no need to valid or no need to check or sort that j less than 5. We just giving the value of each pass as a j less than 5 minus I minus 1. That is 5 is the length of the array according to that. Okay. So in the first pass we got it the final highest value at the end of that particular array. Like this it will continue. Okay. This is for ascending order. In the case of descending order, here you have to change the condition a of j less than a of j plus 1. Then the condition is for descending order. Okay. These are the main concepts of this array chapter. So you have to learn them. If you have any doubt, please message me.